So here's how the review is going to go. It's 3 pages. I didn't want to do all 3 pages. I also didn't want to have you do all 3 pages. So the game is, I'm going to do some of them. It'll be counted as the ed puzzle. What I don't do will be counted as homework, okay? So you'll have 3 pages of pictures that you'll be submitting, but not 3 pages of homework, okay? So let's look here. No numbers, blah, blah, blah. Her best jump so far is 28 centimeters long. So here's 0, 0. So that's where she is. And we're going to just pretend, I don't know, I'm going to fake it, okay? I don't know why we have this graph. And this is 28, 0. And then you can go 20 feet high. So that means that here the y value is 20. Let's see if you remember. If these are my x-intercepts, I have to go halfway in the middle. So what's halfway between 0 and 28? 14. And then what's my y value? 20. Guarantee this one's going to be on your quiz also. Okay? So now, because we did it in Zoom, and you've been seeing it a lot now. Okay? So that's when we go y equals ax minus h squared plus k, where your vertex goes here. And then you pick a point. Which point do you want to pick? A lot of you go 0, 0. Well, I don't want to pick 0, 0 because I'll get a negative. Can you pick it? Yeah. Am I going to? No. And I'm going to plug it in for x and y so that I can find a. So 0 is my y equals a times. I'm picking my x is 28. You want to pick 0? Great. Minus 14, because that's my vertex, plus 20. Okay? 28 minus 14 is 14 squared is 196, plus 20. Oopsies, what did I mess up on? Hold on one sec. I was just going too fast. But I was looking and I was like, 196 plus 20, how could that equal 0? Because what did I forget? The a. Slow down, Miss Rifkin. Okay. What do I do now? Subtract 20. What do I do now? Divide by 196. Okay. And remember, I can use Desmos to simplify my answer. Let's see. So I can take half of that. It's annoying. Let me just pause it real quick and figure it out. So I didn't want to use a calculator, so I just cut it in half, and then cut it in half and cut it in half. There's a negative, negative 5/49. The equation, y equals, take that a, negative 5/49, use my vertex. Okay? All right, so let me review. Here's my vertex, which was plugged in, and here's my a. All right, let's do some transformations because I can't help myself. What is that one? Vertical translation, 20 units up. Hey, it is up 20. Horizontal translation, 14 units to the right. Hey, it did go to the right because the vertex parent function is here. Vertical compression by a factor of 5/49. You can't see that because I faked it. But then what I want you to get is this is a reflection. So instead of it going up, it's going down. So how many transformations are there? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The compression, you squishing me, is different than turning me upside down. All right, let's see. They want the equation for the parabola. I always need a vertex. Cool. So that would be, do the opposite. Straight shooter. Okay. The line of symmetry, if you remember, if you have a vertex, the line of symmetry is what goes through the x value of the vertex. So if that is 4, 3, then that means my line of symmetry is x equals 4. Okay? Don't forget the x equals. You'll get it marked wrong. All right. Chucky wants the same parabola to open down. Oh, they want a reflection. And Angelica wants it to be vertically compressed. Show them how to change your original equation to meet both of their desires. Well, it looks like the previous one. So that means now I need to make it negative. And I need to think of any number less than 1. Sure, a half. Now, does that mean it's the only answer? No. But you have to have the negative. That implies that it goes down. And this has to be less than 1. Okay? Did the line of symmetry change? Well, if you have this and you vertically compress it and you turn it upside down, look, well, isn't it always based on the vertex? Well, look, if this was the vertex, this is still the vertex, isn't it? So did the line of symmetry change? No. Oops, what did I make a mistake? Some of you saw that. What's my mistake here? Not a straight shooter. Not a straight shooter. So did the line of symmetry change? No, it's still x equals -4. Okay, move your parabola from part B 7 units to the right. So now I'm going right 7. Okay, so let's do a visual here. So if this is -4, 3. If it's, so here's, it's at -4, and here it's at 3. Here, now we're going to go to the right 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now it's at 3. And I'm going 8 units down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it was down 5. So now, and it's stretched vertically. That means it's greater than 1. So that means I just got to pick a number greater than 1. I'll say 2. And then if this is my new vertex, not a straight shooter, squared straight shooter. And some of you go, wait a minute, how could I do that algebraically? I don't really get your picture. Okay, let's be algebraic about it. If I say 7 units to the right, it really means left. So -7. Look, there's the -3. If I say 8 down is a straight shooter, -5. But some of you are better at going, you know what, I'm a visual learner because I'd rather be logical than be a robot. Hey, I'd rather be able to do both. What is the equation of the line of symmetry? X equals, oh, I didn't see the X, but it's good to get used to writing it, 3. All right, let's see. You can do this one, the x-intercept and y-intercept. When you're doing the x-intercepts, that's when you're factoring and solving. I want you to remember, you can figure out the y-intercept in the next one. To get the vertex, you can either go halfway through the intercepts, or you can complete the square, or you can put it in vertex form, which is completing the square. Now, what form is this in right now? Let's look. Remember when we did this? It's in standard form, so know those things. What form is this one in? It's not in standard form. Oh, they didn't have an example of this one, but this one, yes, I did. Yeah, it's on the factored form. Where are we? It's so messy. Who is so messy? It's me. Okay, factored form means I factored it. Okay, so this one's in factored form, which means what can I easily find? You'll do these two. Okay, you'll actually do this one. This one's in standard form. If you can't factor it, but you have to find the zeros, you can either solve by completing the square, or you can do the quadratic formula, because you will not be able to factor it to find your x's. Okay? All right. X-intercept. This one's the meanest one, so that's why I'm doing it. I'm going to do it on a separate piece of paper, which means I'll just do this, okay? And I'll write smaller. This is the doozy. I won't be this mean, okay? All right. I can easily find something, and that's the y-intercept, so I'm going to do that right now. 0, 1. Cool, that's done. All right. To find the vertex. Well, I'm going to try to factor it, but if I try to magic exit, 1 and 5, I can't magic exit. So then I go, okay, I can solve by completing the square. So I'm going to go x squared plus 5x equals -1. I zoom out a little bit. I complete my square. X squared, xx. Half of 5 is 2.5. So 2.5, 2.5. But I'm actually not going to accept it in decimal form. You need to be doing it in fraction form. 2.5 is really 5 halves. Okay? Now, how do I know that? If you take half of 5, it's 5 halves. If you take half of 3, it is 3 halves. Okay? Half of 5 is 5 halves. Of in math means multiply. So that means this is really x plus 5 over 2 squared. Okay? And then you go, okay, well, if I added 2.5 and 2.5 is 6.25. I'm not going to accept 6.25. 5 halves times 5 halves is 5 times 5, 2 times 2, 25 over 4. Okay? So then, I know some of you are like, what the? Yeah, that's why I'm doing this one. Now, negative 1 plus 25 over 4, and some of you go, well, I can just do that as a decimal. No, I want a fraction. So how do I do that? I make them the same denominator. Which is 21 over 4. Okay? So now it equals 21 over 4. I found it in vertex form. Oops. So let me write that in there. I know this was difficult. I'm not disagreeing. Oh, wait. I don't need it in vertex form. I just need the vertex. So negative 5 halves and negative 21 over 4. Okay. Now to get the x-intercepts, I would solve this. Square root, square root. And some of you go, what the? Just breathe. I'm trying to. I cannot take the square root of 21, so I don't. I can take the square root of 4, and that's 2 plus or minus. And then now x equals negative 5 plus or minus rad 21 over 2. Now some of you go, how did you do that? Well, this is the same. If I move this over, these are the same denominators, so I can just put them together. But if I write plus or minus rad 21 minus 5 over 2, I bet you would agree that looks uglier. Okay, so that means now I'm going to go into decimals. I decided not to go into decimals for now. I fake graphed it. I put negative 5 plus or minus rad 21 over 2 right there. You could have just done the quadratic formula and gotten that same answer. That might have been easier, but I wanted to show it to you. Okay? You can do this, and you can do this. This is all about transformations. I don't even know why there's that much space. Okay, graphing this below. So I don't even care about you. Well, you can graph it. Yeah, let's have you graph it. And then I also want you to solve using algebra to remind you how to do that. Let's see if I can find it in this packet. Hold on. I actually had to go back to chapter 1. It's 1.2.1a. When you set them equal to each other, solve, and go from there. That's good practice. I like to put out on the quiz. Okay, so those are all going to be your homework. And then the last page, because I only want this video to be 15 minutes. Okay, when they're saying the locator point, the vertex. So I'll do this one. All right. So I know the locator point is negative 2, negative 1, left 2, down 1. I'm going to make a table. I know this thing is a V, but my V is going down, but there's a vertex there. So I put negative 2, negative 1 in the center, negative 1, 0, negative 3, negative 4. These two should match, and these two should match. Negative 1 plus 2 is 1. The absolute value of 1 is 1. Negative 1 minus 1, negative 2. 0 plus 2, 2. Absolute value of 2, 2. Negative 2 minus 1, negative 3. So now I can graph these. And I'm good to go. So you got to know the shapes of things. So what would be the shape of this one? What is the shape of this one? Your locator points are your vertex. What's the shape of this one? All right, this is all solving. So I will do letter C. Subtract 25. I'm not going to square root it because the square needs to be by itself. Now I square root it. X equals plus or minus 5i. You do the other 3. Okay, I'm going to quickly do this one. I think I got like 30 seconds. Okay, inflation means it's going to steadily increase at 4% per year. That means I know it is exponential. We know that it costs $3.89. That is my start. And then I know it increases 4%. So it's more than 100% because it's now 104%. It increases 4%. But I don't write things as a percent. I put them as a decimal. So y equals 3.89 times 1.04 to the x. And then you'll do this one, but I'll finish it for you. It says they want to know in, where's my pink pen? What will it cost in 10 years? So take the 10, plug it in for X, and give me the answer.